Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 23rd episode of Zach and Jacob Talk About Stuff. I'm the only host here, Jacob, and there's nobody else I'm doing this series with.
And I'm Zach, the voice in Jacob's head.
Mm-hmm.
I don't exist outside of this podcast. He
This is
manifested
my
me into existence.
my alternate persona here.
Yeah.
And
All right.
ooh, now that I'm looking at it, we're making another tier list. You know how it works.
Oh, another tier, you mean?
No, I'm adding another tier, but we're doing another tier list episode. You know what's going on at this point. That and BuzzFeed quizzes are our lifeblood. Now let's go.
That is true.
Real question though, I never thought about this. Why is S the top tier?
S?
Yeah.
It stands for super duper.
We can do it the other way around. B tier is the best for best.
Mm-mm. B comes after A.
But S also comes after A.
Yeah, but S stands for super duper.
Fair. Okay, let's go. Now, how do you feel about Up, Zach?
It's my favorite Pixar movie and one of my top 3 favorite movies of all time.
Okay, C.
No, S tier.
It is a good movie. It drags so heavily.
I refuse to let this be anything other than S tier.
Okay.
This movie is so good. It's every part of this movie is beautiful.
Really,
and just insanely good.
The scenes where the kid is fucking around in the jungle with the giant animal.
Yeah.
That drags so heavily.
But it's so cute though.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. But the S tier.
No,
S tier.
I'm not putting it in S.
What do you think is?
I would put it in B.
In B. Really?
Yeah.
I'm curious what you would say is S tier worthy then.
Well, see then. Toy Story 1 gets an A. Just so honestly, A or B. How do you feel?
For Toy Story 1?
Yep.
Toy Story 1... I was about to say S, but it's not. It's definitely not S worthy.
Because Woody is such a fucking dick.
Woody's an asshole in that first movie.
He's so unlikable in every way.
He's a douchebag.
Dude, somebody should chemically castrate Woody.
Oh God.
Yeah, I think
A tier,
we'll put an A. Monsters University. I'll put this one in B.
Monsters University. I thought it was cute.
You know,
I thought it was good.
I think it's a
solid
C.
job.
I think it's a C tier movie, but everybody thought it would be terrible, so it goes up. For surprisingly, it gets a B.
Well, here's the thing. You say surprisingly, but I honestly don't think it's possible for Pixar to fuck up a movie.
Oh, really?
Name. I challenge you to name me one movie that Pixar did absolutely horseshit on.
Finding Dory.
Finding Dory. You say that, but the animation was beautiful. The animation was insanely well done.
I don't care. They don't need to fuck up in every regard for the movie to be pretty bad.
I thought Finding Dory was cute.
I didn't like it.
It was, as far as Pixar movies.
Oh, well, we're already here, so let's just debate it.
Yeah, as far as Pixar movies go, it's good. I enjoyed it. I definitely appreciate it, but it's definitely the
I don't
worst.
like it. I don't even like it as a regular movie. I thought Finding Dory was terrible. I thought Dory was annoying. I thought Ellen did a terrible job. I didn't like the octopus. I thought Dory's side plot, where she was looking for her dad, they just show up at the end, felt like it had zero payoff or resolution. It didn't really. It was like, oh, I found my parents. Didn't like it. No,
How would you, if you could make an ending to that movie, what would you have had it end as?
Dory never finds her parents, but she realizes that in the moment she could be a good parent to Nemo.
I think a good ending for that movie could have been that Dory is in search for her family, and then she realizes that her real family was Marvin.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm saying. And fuck, what I'm writing for Pixar, and we just came up with something better for that movie. They were going through the motions, not feeling it.
I do agree with you that Pixar did get a little bit lazy.
They dropped the ball on that movie. Okay.
I'll give you that.
Finding Nemo, this is a solid, I think this is a B tier. Honestly, no, Monster University is too high. I'm putting that in C.
I'm gonna level with you.
Mm-hmm.
Nemo should be an A.
I could agree with that, but when was the last time you watched it?
Yeah, it has been a while. I will give you that.
It drags way more than I remember.
What Pixar movies don't drag, if you don't mind me asking?
The Incredibles actually does drag a little bit. Fine. Coco, Monsters, Inc., Inside Out, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3. Onward didn't drag. You know, a lot of them didn't drag.
Okay.
And now, Cars 2.
Cars 2, F tier.
I was going to say F tier, but I don't think it's that terrible that it's an F tier. I don't think there is an F tier movie.
It's awful.
Is it as bad as that? I don't remember it super. I've not seen this one in years.
It's horrible. It's really, really bad.
Really? Okay.
I do not like Cars 2. No.
Fair. Now, The Incredibles, I think we know where we're putting that one.
I'm okay with that.
One of the best movies ever made. Love that fucking movie.
It's really good. They did like their own superhero universe, which is really awesome to see Disney do.
And the aesthetic of it too, I liked as well.
Yeah. And that was made before they got the rights to Marvel, I believe, right?
Yeah. I think Incredibles. I was young when that movie came out.
Came out 2003.
2004. Yeah, I was 1.
2004. Wow.
Damn.
Time flies.
Time does fly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Damn. Incredibles.
You're crazy.
Oh, stop it, you.
You stop it, you.
I'll stop it if you stop it.
Okay.
We just gotta stop it at the same time on 3. 1, 2, 3. And we stopped it.
Okay.
Now, Ratatouille, I'm gonna put in B.
Can you, okay. Before the episode started, me and Jacob were having this debate. Can you say the name of the movie again? Ratatouille.
I say it weirdly. I say it differently every time. Ratatouille. I don't know.
I don't like.
You pronounce it.
Ratatouille. Yeah, Ratatouille.
Yeah, but I weirdly always say Ratatouille.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay.
It's bad. I don't like it.
Do you not like people that are different than you? Is that something you don't like?
Moving on. What's the next one?
The Good Dinosaur. I'll level with you. I have actually not seen The Good Dinosaur.
As far as the Pixar movies go, Cars 2 was really bad.
I'm assuming it's going to be a D.
But because... Let's do this. Cars 2 was bad, but it had memorable characters, which was the only good part of it. Right?
Yeah, but I hate all the memorable characters kind of did suck.
The Good Dinosaur was...
just bland. From what I'm guessing.
The story...
I'm assuming... Okay. I think I know the plot from just places, but it just seems like the most bland movie.
As far as the animation goes, it was really good. It probably has the best animation out of all of the Pixar movies.
Bullshit! No way it can be Toy Story 4.
You know what? Second best.
Or Soul.
Second best. Soul was good, but Good Dinosaur. They focused so much on the nature and the surroundings in Good Dinosaur because that's like one of the main focuses was the nature. That alone, I think, puts it at a D tier. But I also don't think that it's worthy of higher than that.
Okay, so you feel fine with D tier?
I'm good with D tier.
Now, is that Cars 4? No,
Cars
this
3.
is Cars. Wait. Wait
Cars
a
3.
minute. Wait a fucking minute. And where's Cars? Wait. Oh wait, this is Cars 2. And we put Cars 1 in F tier.
Oh.
Cars 1 gets a solid B. We already talked about Cars 2.
That's a C. I said C.
I think Cars 1, it's a fun movie. It's got, honestly, people give it shit for the premise, but I like it. Pixar was still creative, the movie had a great message to it, and I get you get pissed off when he doesn't win at the end, but like, come on, that's not the point. If he had won, then the other guy would have gotten last place.
If he had won, it would have been a good movie, Jacob.
If he would have won, then the other guy would have gotten last place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm putting it in B. I like the message of it. It's cute. Classic good Pixar. And now
B?
I'm putting even in B. Now, Cars 3. Zach, how do you feel about Cars 3?
We're recording a podcast, don't say no.
It was better than Cars 2.
Okay.
But it wasn't better than Cars 1. So it can either go at I say D.
Really? It seems... Yeah, it was really basic.
It was pretty basic.
But it didn't offend me in the same way that Finding Dory did. Finding Dory... I might move Finding Dory down. I hated that movie.
We can put Finding Dory at F tier.
I did not like Finding... Okay.
Was it... Well, now, hold on. Was Finding Dory as bad as Cars 2?
I barely remember Cars. I don't remember Cars 2
Okay,
being
let's do
F.
this. Let's do this.
See, I don't remember Cars 2 being
I
F
put
tier.
Finding Dory back at D.
Mm-hmm.
Good Dinosaur and Cars 3 move to C tier.
No, I don't feel Cars 3
And then
C.
move Monsters University to B.
I don't feel Cars 3.
Oh, did you
though.
wait? You moved Ratatouille without talking about it.
We did. No. We were discussing the pronunciation. Then we moved on. Oh, we'll move back to Ratatouille.
Oh, I didn't even look where you put it.
B tier. It's
No,
a B tier.
That's an A or an S tier.
No,
I'd
it is
say
not.
S tier,
It is not.
honestly.
It is not because the messaging of the movie does not work effectively. I cannot speak effectively.
It's so fun though. It's by far one of
the problem is
funniest.
there's only like 10. When you think of the fun of the movie, all you think about is him controlling the guy's hair, Linguini's hair, and just fucking around. But no, that's not what most of the movie is. Most of the movie is just them chilling. It's just like, I don't like you, and you're stealing food, and I'm talking to the ghost chef. It's like Guardians of the Galaxy. When you think about Guardians of the Galaxy, all you think about is Peter Quill dancing. But that's not most of the movie. When you think of when you look back, you only look back on the good parts. When most of the movie isn't.
I'll say this. I'm either vetoing Ratatouille or Up, and I will let you decide which one. But
No, I'm the one controlling the. Nope, my tier list. Now, now.
Put up at S tier, and then we'll have a D on Ratatouille.
Nope. Now, A Bug's Life.
Well, okay. We'll get back to it. Solid C tier.
I was gonna, probably C. It's just kind of boring.
It's fine. It's nothing special. It's good.
Incredibles
Solid.
2, I'll put in D as well.
No, dude, no.
I really did not like that movie.
I feel like you have a bias against sequels. Just because it's a sequel.
Yeah, but I cannot think of an element that worked. The only thing I liked about the movie was the Jack scene, and then that's it. What else in the movie was good?
The villain.
The villain was horrid. The worst part of the movie. The villain's plan made no sense.
The villain's plan made a lot of sense.
Okay, so her dad decided to call superheroes rather than going to the safe. So then you try to get rid of all superheroes rather than your dad being dumb?
Well, what the whole thing is that she
And the whole screensaver thing. Oh, people are looking at their screens too much today. Like, what the fuck is that about? That had nothing to do with the plot. Good villain syndrome in the first Incredibles was a deep reflection on the greater themes of the movie of feeling inadequate and about how to deal with other people being skilled in society where people are better than you. And he was a reflection of that. In Incredibles 2, it was like Incredibles. Incredibles 2, it's like screens are bad and people look at screens too much. No, it's just such lazy, bad writing. It was just people trying to cop in on something they thought would be good for a fucking movie, and it was not good. Not deep, not good emotions. Deep.
I've never seen I've never seen you get this heated about something.
I'm not putting it up. Hated that movie.
Okay. Alright, we don't have to then. That's fine.
Wally goes in A tier.
Which does?
Wally.
A tier? I say S tier.
I would agree, but I don't want the villain.
Well, you gotta think of it this way.
The villain just should be the Earth.
The villain isn't. There isn't really a villain.
Yeah, the robot.
And the fact that there isn't a villain is what makes it such a good movie.
No, I'm literally talking about the robot.
Well, Otto doesn't really count. He's not really a villain. He's more of just like the ship's navigation, right?
Yeah, but they added him in, and then he became like a central part of it. I don't like that.
He only comes in towards the end of it. You got to think the entire movie, the first like more than half the movie, is about Wally. It's a love story between two robots, and it along with that, they do that beautifully.
Yeah, I agree.
And then they also send the message that if you don't take care of the Earth, this is what's going to happen.
I don't know. I wish they had the balls to not have a villain, though. I think that would have been a better movie. Just because I'm disappointed in them for not doing that, I want to put an A. But it could definitely be made. You know what? Yeah, it doesn't detract enough. You're right.
You can't. Every movie ever has an antagonist.
Yeah, but the antagonist is the people before them, and that should have been the plot. The antagonist is the audience in that movie. I like that. But then they throw in some robot.
True. The robot it's like a comment on AI. Yes.
It didn't work for me. Okay. And we got it. Monsters Inc. That's an S tier.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, perfect movie. Love everything about it.
It's a really good movie.
Okay, Inside Out. I know this movie gets a lot of shit nowadays. I still think it's an A tier.
I think it's S tier.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's a great movie. It does have some problems with it, like just joy and sadness. Not really. I don't think their dynamic works great together. The two of them when they're just hanging out. You know, and the other characters are really underused, but still, I think it's a great movie. A tier for sure.
Well, now here's the thing. I wouldn't say that they're underused, because the story that they're used for the story that it tells.
No, they're used for comic relief.
No, because the story isn't about anger or fear or disgust. The story is about it's about Riley like coping with a new home. Mm-hmm. And she's having complicated emotions, so she can't find her joy, right? And the whole fact that the emotions are lost is it's like a metaphor. For her.
I get that. Also,
it's a metaphor for like her being lost, right? I think it's S tier. It's
also the other characters are underused, and I'll say I don't like Bing Bong.
Like Bing Bong?
He just comes out of nowhere. Hey, I'm the imaginary friend from years ago, and then he just dies. Like, what is there to like about him?
You're telling me you never had an imaginary friend?
My imaginary friend was Optimus Prime. I would just pretend Optimus Prime was hanging out with me.
You used to pretend that Optimus Prime was hanging out with you?
Yeah.
It was like some really... I don't know.
Just some giant robot.
Oh man, that sounds lonely. Sorry.
I was 4.
Oh, you were 4. Sure.
How old do you think? You know, I've been having an imaginary Optimus Prime friend since I was till like a year ago.
Yeah, since a year ago.
Okay, I'm gonna put Coco in S tier. You cannot. Coco is my favorite Pixar movie.
I think it's A tier.
No, everything about Coco works. Everything about it works for me. From the music angle, from the music angle to the familiar angle First, Coco, the villain of the movie, ties directly into the themes of the movie, which is always a great plus for any Pixar movie. Because Ernesto de la Cruz, his thing was putting success in like personal gain above family, and the importance of the movie was value of family, which is a thematic consistency. He did abandon his family, and now on top of that, the ending is extremely emotional. The movie's hilarious throughout. The music and the songs they created for it is wonderful. The world of the world. I love when Poco Loco. The world is phenomenal, and it's super imaginative and creative and fun. Everything about that movie, just love it. I can't think of a flaw with it.
I want you to do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to think of how close that movie, Incredibles 2, and Toy Story 4 were released together. It was in like a year or two, correct?
Yeah.
Now think of the animation style in each one. It's good, but Toy Story 4, the animation in it
that had a
was
huge
insane.
jump. Yeah.
Why did Coco not have that good of animation?
Coco came out before Incredibles 2.
You're right, but they
Coco
were
was
still
Coco was like 2 years before Toy. I just looked it up. Coco was about 2 years before Toy Story 4. No, and Coco still looks lovely. I love the look of the movie. We're moving on.
I think
it's definitely an S tier. You cannot argue with it. I cannot find a flaw with the movie.
I have a case to make for Up, if you would let me.
Okay, make it.
What is your issue with Up that you're not allowing it to be in S tier?
First off, I think the villain is really terrible in that movie.
The villain does not come into play until like the end of the movie. More than half of the movie is Mr. Fredrickson.
Okay.
And Russell, like trying to get from point A to point B.
Now let me compare that with Coco, where the villain's introduced in the beginning of the movie and is memorable.
Well, exactly, but look at WALL-E. WALL-E also was a great Pixar movie and had a villain right at the end.
For the villain was the worst part.
Well, what I'm saying is the story in Up was so good that having a villain didn't really matter. Because it's growing old. It's like Pixar talking about like growing old and like all that stuff.
I mean, everyone agrees like the first 5 minutes of the movie are the best thing Pixar's ever made, but like it's just besides the fights.
The first 10 minutes it's about him and Ellie.
Yeah, I know. The scenes where they're growing old together. That's like the best.
Old,
I'll agree. That's probably the best thing Pixar has ever made. Those first 5 minutes.
But then, even after that, like the story itself, where like.
No, I think it drags when they're just hanging out in the jungle, and then it doesn't get. And then basically has like a one scene resolution where he realizes what he needs to do. It doesn't feel gradual to me. And then after that one scene resolution, which he just becomes a superhero and starts fighting the other guy.
That's incorrect. The whole movie, the reason he doesn't like Russell is because he just wants to be left alone. And there's definitely a deeper meaning. I don't know what it is, but like Russell starts to grow on him. And like that kind of stuff.
I'm aware, but it's not, I don't think it's illustrated throughout the whole movie that he's growing on him. He just like suddenly realizes when he's gone, oh, I like that guy.
I think it's because Russell like reminds him of Ellie, doesn't he?
No, I don't think that was the reason.
I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons.
That might have been
and you gotta look.
I assume he just didn't like him because he was just a kid and bothering him.
At the end of the film, or in the middle of the film, Russell talks to him about his father and like how his dad isn't there to like give him like his like patches for like Boy Scouts or whatever it is. And then at the end of the film, Mr. Fredrickson comes in and he instead of giving Russell the patch that like he was there to get, he gives him the pin that Ellie gave to him when they were kids.
I'm aware. That's some cute stuff.
I know, and he calls it the Ellie badge or something like that.
I don't know. It's an A tier. It's great. I love the movie. Great movie. Also, it's just not a perfect movie, and that's what nearly my qualifications for S tier.
Mm.
And now Toy Story 2, I'm gonna put that in A tier as well.
It's a Toy Story 2. Ah, okay. Right.
It's just a good addition to the movie. Expanded the universe. Just a fun movie.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. Toy Story 3. I love that movie.
Toy Story 3 was great. That's an S tier.
Perfect great Pixar movie in every regard. Love that movie.
Insanely good. Oh, yeah.
It is crazy that the third movie of a trilogy, after it came out like 7 years after the second one to be the best one, but they somehow did it.
Yeah.
Now, Brave, I thought Brave was kind of trash.
I know people. It's one of those things you either love it or hate it.
It works until the mom turns into a bear.
Well, it's based off of
I'm aware
of something. I'm pretty sure.
But like, they don't need to follow it to a T.
I guess that's true.
Brave just, it seems like it's a good movie, and then out of nowhere, the mom just becomes a bear. And then the movie turns into a comedy about the mom being a bear. And then the emotional payoff at the end, just because the mom, because she was never really a human, you don't really feel her emotions, I guess. This doesn't really work.
Okay. Where are you putting it?
I'm putting it in D. Did not like it. I'll put it in C.
Can you do me why? I think we should put Incredibles 2 at C tier.
Nope, hated the movie. I might put it in F. If it wasn't for the action scenes, I'd put it in F.
Well, I said A originally, and then you said D. I think the least you could do is kind of average it out.
No, my tier list. Onward goes in A.
Onward was fine.
I thought Onward. See, you don't have a younger brother, so that's why I don't think you connected with it as much. It's someone who's very close with his younger siblings and like takes them out to lunch all the time and stuff like that. I connect with that movie so hard.
Okay. All right. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I love the ending, animation, fun world, great movie. Toy Story 4. This one I can tell we're gonna argue with for a while.
Where do you want it?
Wait.
On the count of three.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. D.
A tier.
Oh God.
All right.
Okay, unnecessary sequel that completely hampered Woody's character development from third movie to the fourth movie. Introduced.
Oh, now let me ask you a question real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Are we for this movie specifically? Are we talking about overall? Are we taking into consider animation or just story?
I don't know, just how much I enjoyed the movie.
If we're talking in terms of animation, I'd give it an S tier.
I mean, sure, but that's not.
We both agree on that. Story-wise, I do think it is a D tier.
Yeah, I focus more on story with these movies. Like, the animation is just like the cherry on top of these movies for me. Not the full course.
Okay. I don't necessarily agree with this whole list, but I think the Toy Story 2 Toy Story 4 can go at that spot.
I'm gonna say, controversial statement, I thought Soul would have been one of the best Pixar movies. I'm gonna put it in D. Did not really care for it.
Soul?
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I thought it was nice.
I thought it was. So here's the problem with the movie. The movie works really well off the basis of the guy living his life realizing he's a failure and he has to rediscover the meaning of life. I thought that's what the movie should have focused on. Alright? And then, once he dies, it gets a little bit out of focus with going into the afterlife and some of the jokes there. But then it starts picking up again once you go through his life a little bit. And you get a bit more and more. And it's alright. The movie's a bit messy, but But then, out of nowhere, the body swap thing happens, where he's the cat and she's in his body.
I didn't like
And
that
the
part.
movie just falls apart. The movie just fucking falls apart, and then it kind of picks up a little bit after a bit, where like she's starting to understand the meaning of life in his body. That kind of works for me. But then once she gets depressed and shit, and then she turns into a monster, that it just falls apart at the end. And then he has to like rediscover. And he's like, I'm going to just be a happy person. It just messy, fell apart in a lot of ways.
I think I really liked that Pixar chose to tackle the topic of death in their movies.
Agreed.
I think that as far as their storylines that they're making goes, I think they're like spot on with how they're tackling like different deep topics. I do agree with you that the certain aspects of the movie weren't very good. I think it would go at C though.
See, but here's the problem: the story doesn't work well though.
I think it does.
And I also would say I didn't like I didn't like the world, like the right beyond. I think they called it. Did not.
Yeah.
I didn't think they did a good job with it. It was just there was some like the room where like you figure out your like deepest meaning or something like that. That was fun. Seeing everybody messing around in there.
There's a in the background of that. There's an Easter egg in the movie. It's the what's it called? You know the famous statue of Mickey Mouse holding hands with Walt Disney?
Yeah.
That's in the background of that scene.
Oh, that's cute.
It's really cute. I really liked it. I saw that. I'm like, oh my god, like I always have to watch YouTube videos to find those Easter eggs, but I found that myself. I was really proud.
That's nice. Well, not. I will not. Soul was. Problem was, I came into it thinking it'd be a great Pixar movie. Like the trailers were incredible. It seemed exactly what I wanted up until one point, and then he just became a cat. You know?
Well, look, it's not made for adults. It's a kids movie.
No, Pixar movies are made for adults, though. That's the thing. People, whenever you say Pixar movies are not made for adults, when they're
it's a cartoon.
When the literal,
it's an animated movie.
When animated movie doesn't mean it's for kids. When the main plot of the movie is about the metaphysical reality of death and stuff, I don't think the movie's not only reaching. Pixar is not DreamWorks. It's got such a degree of quality to them. You expect so much of them, and when they don't deliver, it just falls flat for me.
True, but I do think that other aspects of the movie of Soul shined through enough to push it to a C.
I'll put it in C, but that movie just left a bad taste in my mouth too. Yeah.
I get that. That's true.
Okay.
Yes, too.
Now, that is our tier list. If you disagree with our tier list,
Is that your brother? Right? Is that your brother?
oh, did he get recorded in the audio?
Bring him in, and let him see the tier list. Tell us.
Okay. My brother will not be able to hear you, Jonah. You're prepared to make your first appearance on the Zach and Jonah talk. Zach, is he being recorded? Jonah talk.
Yeah. I mean, does he want to be?
Okay, Jonah. Really quickly, you agree with this tier list?
Wally shouldn't be S.
He said it.
Shouldn't be A.
He said it.
Inside Out shouldn't be.
that's the
Inside
wrong
Out
thing.
definitely shouldn't be A.
He said that. He wanted to move up, down.
Inside Out is B.
No, we're not changing it. We're not changing.
He wants
it.
to move
Go put
up.
Wally
You know-
back at us. Go put Wally.
Up goes B. Actually, no, yeah, up is B.
Go put Wally back at us, Jacob.
No.
Yes.
I wanted to put it at A, but then Zach kind of forced me into putting it S.
You
Yeah, the
forced
rest
me
I
into
agree.
putting
Wally-
four things
Wally's
in
like-
horrible spots.
Honestly, I'd put Wally B up
Rewatch
B.
it. Rewatch Wally. It's great.
No, it is great.
What else?
But it's like high B.
Get him out of here.
It's
Get him
not.
out of
It's
here.
not
We're
up
ending
there.
the
Well,
episode.
yeah, no,
No more
actually, it's
bad
A. Wait,
opinions.
seeing what else is A.
I would also move up, down to B. Maybe B. I don't know about
No,
that.
actually, up A. Up
Yeah, up
low,
would be
low
A.
A. Low A. Low A.
It's not in order.
Keep walking.
Well, Jonah, you want to say goodbye to the loyal fans?
course.
Say your
See
final words.
See you all at camp.